Welcome back to the Midday Show. My guest today is a very talented comedian and actor who you know from The League on FXX, the podcast How Did This Get Made on the Earwolf Network, and ABC's Fresh Off the Boat, and of course Human Giant on MTV. His latest project, an experimental comedy special called Crash Test, is available for $3.99 right now on Vimeo On Demand. It's an honor to have him here. Please welcome Paul Scheer.
Hey, how are you? Thank you so much for having me. I am a big fan of the Midday Show.
Oh, that's so nice of you to say. I know you're lying, but so nice of you to say.
I listen every day, and it's really hard for me to get it. I have to really go out of my way to get it. But when I get it,
awesome.
I'm listening nonstop.
Okay, so we're gonna jump right in. This is because you were actually nice enough to let people know that you were going to be on the show. Most guests sadly don't do that, and we have questions. We are going to do rapid fire Twitter round right now. We have 60 seconds on the clock. I'm going to ask as many Twitter questions that came in for you, and the clock will start after I read the first question. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay, on the mark.
Do I win anything? Do I win? First of all, do I win anything?
You'll win the love and affection of all the listeners.
Okay, I guess I will do it. Normally I play for some sort of charity, but for this I'm going to forego it and just do it for the love of the listeners.
Okay, awesome. So, okay, like I said, I'm going to say the question, then the clock will start, okay?
Okay.
What are the odds of Human Giant happening again? Go.
Odds. I'm not very good at odds, but I would say 30-1.
30-1. Okay. What's your favorite outfit you've worn on the League?
My favorite outfit that I've worn on the League is the outfit that I wore when I was dressed as a woman, Andrea. It was a full, amazing dress ensemble. The best Andre has ever looked, and the worst simultaneously.
How do you wear Andre's outfits with such confidence?
I wear Andre's outfits with such confidence because I don't have to actually exist in the real world. If I wore that out in the street, I would be a shell of a man.
Would you take Crash Test, which we're going to talk about in a second, on the road to, like, NYC, perhaps?
We would love to take Crash Test all over the country. New York, Austin, San Diego,
Kansas City.
New Orleans, any place where there's a cool city we want to go. And that bus, we actually stole it from New York. So yeah,
Time is up. Time is up.
Oh.
And I'm going to clear the timer so it doesn't go off more. Very good job, Paul. Very good job.
You know, it was only 4. I felt like we could have done more. I should have answered really quickly.
Okay. We'll do one more. Any plans to get Nikki Glazer on How Did This Get Made?
Oh, yeah, I love Nikki. Nikki's amazing, and I would love to have her. She was on Bachelor in Paradise last night.
She was.
Yeah, it would be great.
It was a week ago in Radioland.
Oh, what is it?
We're airing right now. Today's technically the 16th as we're airing, but she was on last week, so a little bit of time travel for us today. So
I love it.
Let's talk about Crash Test. Me and my dad watched and bought Crash Test this past weekend last weekend for the airing time. And it was fantastic. I loved it. My dad enjoyed it. I feel like the favorite part was Bob Duca. He just, I couldn't get enough.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you so much for actually buying it and supporting the show. That's awesome. I think that's the important lesson we are trying to get, that parents will also like this. You're not the only person whose parents have liked the show.
Yeah.
And Bob Duca is the best. You've seen him on the Parole Show. You've heard him on his own podcast. And he came on here and just killed it. I think my favorite part is the guy Zev. We put an earbud in his ear, and we fed him lines and made him walk around Hollywood Boulevard.
That was actually my dad's favorite part.
That's awesome. Yeah, that was totally unplanned. You know, the one thing that people don't realize with the special is we did it all in one take. We didn't do anything twice. We got on that bus for about 6 hours, and you know, a lot of it was driving. But we just took the best moments from the 6-hour taping. So I think it's a really rare comedy special in the fact that it was one take, one time, no rehearsal, And most of the people that we bumped into, the first time we saw them that night was when they were doing their bit.
That's super cool. Is there? You said Chris, 6 hour one take at it. Was there a moment that was like so close to getting in, but you could not get it in just so you could fit your time constraint of that 52 minutes?
Well, we didn't necessarily have a time constraint per se because we released it on Vimeo, so you can do whatever you want on Vimeo. You can just kind of give them anything content or time-wise. We just cut it down for content. We wanted to make the funniest show that we could. And the one piece that I think was really interesting that didn't make it into the cut was we had this guy called Billy the Mime. And Billy is a mime, as his name indicates. But he did these mimed out things that were like the life and death of Anna Nicole Smith, and one really funny one about Benjamin Franklin. And they're very dirty miming, but we found that when we were airing it, even though it was super funny watching it, it slowed the whole thing kind of down because mime is it's tough to do on TV. We thought we'd be the first people to bring mime back, but we could not bring mime back. So you can see a little piece of it at the end of the special.
Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, that was good. So
yeah,
we don't have you for too long. We only have about 4 minutes left, 4 or 5 minutes left in this segment.
With you, Brandon. We have 60 seconds. We got 4 minutes. All right, what do we got?
Hey, you're the busy one, man. You're the busy one. But yeah, so I'm just gonna ask you as many questions as I can, and answer just as concisely as you can.
Okay, concise answers. Here we go.
How did Arshirial Paul come about?
Jash, that internet network, said to me, "What's the craziest idea that you have that no one will ever give you money for?" And I said, "To recreate the Arsenio Hall show." They said, "Yes, done. We did it."
And it was an amazing, just kind of series of little vignettes. What was that experience actually?
We recreated the best, my favorite moments from the Arsenio Hall show. We did one that was totally scripted as it was on the show, and then one that was improvised. And then we followed that up with Scheer RL, which was a recreation of TRL, where I played Carson Daly, and those were much more based in the originals and then kind of became their own sketches. Yeah,
definitely. And we actually are going to have Damian Fahey, who took over for Carson, on next week.
Oh, I love Damian. He's awesome.
Yes. And you guys actually got to go on the Arsenio Hall show when it came back. What was that experience like?
It was the most surreal experience ever to be on Arsenio Hall as old school Arsenio Hall. I mean, I was doing Arsenio to Arsenio, and I don't think that Arsenio even knew what was actually going on. I don't think he also knew that I had done anything else but these recreations. I think Arsenio thought I was some kid who lived in Ohio who was recreating these things in his bedroom. He had no clue, but it was the best and craziest thing that I ever got to do, be Arsenio to Arsenio.
What is your favorite How Did This Get Made film? The favorite film that you covered on How Did This Get Made?
My favorite How Did This Get Made movie? Wow. I think I have a real affinity for the 3 ones that we did with Adam Scott of Fast 5, Fast 6, and Fast 7. But as far as the most bonkers movie, the one that took me by the biggest surprise, literally the craziest film, I'd have to say it was Sleepaway Camp.
And I have not seen that, but it just sounds wrong. It does not sound like a good movie, Sleepaway Camp.
Sleepaway Camp is amazing, and I think most notable for the end scene, which I will not spoil for your audience. It's one of the most insane endings of any movie, but the movie is so misogynistic, it's so racist, it's so crazy. It's the basis in many respects of every summer camp movie that you'll ever see. You'll be like, oh, everything was drawn from here. I actually feel like Wet Hot American Summer drew a lot of inspiration from Sleepaway Camp, the characters and the looks and the fashion. And
you appeared in the prequel, the First Day of Camp, which I saw. Fantastic.
Yes.
What was that?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, what was that experience like? Kind of entering that David Wayne world.
I'm a huge fan of Michael and David, who created Wet Hot American Summer. So it was like just an honor to kind of be asked into that world and get to do a scene with Jayla Mays, who played my love interest on The League, Trixie, and then also Elizabeth Banks and Jordan Peele, who I am good friends with. So that was like a blast. So it was like a really fun day. Hopefully we'll get to make more.
Hopefully. We have about, again with the time, I know me with the time, 40 seconds left. In
40
case
seconds.
in case
Oh my
we
gosh,
don't
that makes sense.
get you for the next segment, because you do have a very tight schedule today, what are your plugs, as in Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff?
Oh, okay. You can follow me at Paul Scheer. You can follow me, at Paul Scheer pretty much on everything. Instagram, Twitter, Paul Scheer on Facebook, and then on Snapchat, I'm the Paul Scheer. But I think you're gonna be able to find me. I don't think your audience is gonna. If they want to find me, I'm easily found.
Okay. We might be right back with a little bit more of Paul Scheer here on the Midday Show right after this. Welcome back to the Midday Show. I'm here with my special guest today, Paul Scheer. It's an honor to have you, Paul. And we're broadcasting from Overland Park, Kansas, just outside of Kansas City. I know you know the main people from here, Rob Riggle, Jason Sudeikis, and Paul Rudd. And you were actually in Kansas City a few years ago for their Big Slick fundraiser.
Yes, I love the Big Slick, and I love coming to Kansas. I've been meaning to come back, but it's always been tricky that time of year. So hopefully this year I'll be back there.
Yeah. Well, it actually already happened this year. Hate to burst the bubble.
Yeah. No, I mean this coming one. I know the one that.
Of course. So, and there's a funny video. Because I do magic, and we both know Justin Woman, and this isn't about Justin Woman, but there's a video online from you at Big Slick, magician that I know, local here, tried to pull one over on you, and it did not work.
Oh yes, I remember that vaguely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to be duped. I love magic. I want to get fooled, but I remember him not being able to fool me. I'm not one of those people who like trying to be like, oh, where'd you put that thing? I'm normally very impressed and easily duped. But your Kansas City magician did not dupe me. I apologize.
Yeah, and I think he tried to steal your tie, and it just wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah, right. He was like pulling on something. I couldn't remember exactly what it was.
So, is there anything brewing in the Paul Scheer brain or in the Paul Scheer sphere that you'd like to get out there? Because we cover Crash Test. Of course, the League returned last week in airing time. Is there anything else coming up for Paul Scheer?
Well, right now, like you said, we have those two things out. Also, the Hot Wives of Las Vegas, which is the second season of our show that we do on Hulu, is now streaming on Hulu. It wouldn't be anywhere else. And so that's pretty cool. And I actually play a husband this year. I play a bubble magician. So not a time magician, a bubble magician. So I'm in that with Keegan Michael Key, Casey Wilson, Andrea Savage, everybody from the first season is all back for the second season with some brand new people. And then, of course, the podcast, How Did This Get Made, is every single week. And I have a new animated show hopefully coming out soon to Adult Swim.
Returning to Adult Swim after NTFS.
Yeah, exactly. And in the near future, and I can't talk about it 100% yet, but there's something big that we're doing with Star Wars. A comedy project with Star Wars that'll be coming out in the next couple of maybe months or two.
Is this like a semi-exclusive here?
You know what? I think it probably is. I just give all Kansas City my exclusives, and you just got it.
And this is actually going all over the world as well. We're on internet radio, man.
Oh my gosh. Well, to all your listeners in Japan, how many listeners do you have in Japan, do you think?
I think about 2.
Okay, look, you got to start somewhere. You got to build that block.
I got to build it.
The biggest foreign country that listens to your show.
Yes, definitely. Out of all of them, 2 in Japan, biggest foreign country. Favorite way to have fun? Is there a favorite way you like to have fun?
Favorite way that I like to have fun? Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. You bring me to Dave & Buster's, it's gonna be a great time.
It is.
Love Dave & Buster's. Get me that basketball game, that Papa Shop basketball game. any place that has like games where you can shoot virtual machine guns and drink beer. It seems like it's a lot of fun.
And my final question, what do you like about Hanukkah?
What do I like about Hanukkah?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know much about Hanukkah, but I imagine the best part of celebrating Hanukkah would be the 8 days of gifts and the fact that you get to watch an animated Adam Sandler movie. I think that's part of it, right? You have to watch that Adam Sandler movie.
It kind of has become a new
8
tradition.
crazy nights.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think that those are probably the highlights to me, is the forcing of watching an Adam Sandler movie and just getting 8 days of gifts. Me, I only get 1 day of gifts. So
Yeah.
8 days. It's great.
Definitely.
And if I celebrate Hanukkah, I could probably go see the movie on Christmas and the movie theater will be empty. Great.
Yeah. No, mostly Jews are at the movie theater, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, maybe then I can get together with all my Jewish friends and we can, like, see each other. We haven't seen each other, and we can talk about plans.
Exactly. So, because we have to cut the interview short because you're so busy, is there a song you would like to hear that we can play right after the interview ends? A song you'd like to hear? We can play anything you want. It has to be clean, though.
You can play anything I want. All right, I'm going to give you a very tough order to fill.
I
And
will.
I'm going to say, can you play anything off the Arsenio Hall comedy album, Chunky A, Large and in Charge? You see, people don't remember this, but Arsenio Hall created a rap persona, Chunky A, and they released an album. I love Chunky A, and I haven't heard a song from Chunky A since I was a kid, and I would love you to play something from Chunky A.
If I will find it, I will play it. That is my honor to you. My thanks to Mr. Paul Scheer. All the things we said, you can find. It was so great. I can't believe I got to interview you. Thank you so much for taking the time out to do this.
Thank you so much for wanting to do it, and thank you for buying a Crash Test on Vimeo. It's so awesome, and I hope you people out there get to check it out, because it does have people that you might like in it, like Rob Corddry, Aubrey Plaza, a reunion of Reno 911, Earl Sweatshirt, all these kind of fun people. So I think if you like comedy, you will find someone in that special you will like.
Well, my thanks to Paul Scheer, and we'll see you next time.